Squad. Coming at ya. I am trying to get to bed early and I'm failing miserably. It's 11:30 on the 25th of November, and I'm just now starting. We're going to listen to some music. Actually, what's weird is today is all music sent in to me by artists who want me to react to their music. And they're either people who have sent me stuff just to say, hey, I want you to react to my stuff, or people who have said, who have joined my Patreon and sent me stuff, and they make their own music. And it just happened to all line up that this all happened today, and somebody who sent me a paid reaction who is also an artist who sent me their own stuff. So they all go on different spreadsheets, and they all happen to come up today. This is a very cool piece of artwork. This actually reminds me a lot of Dark Age. Was a card game years ago. Dark Age CCG. And it had a lot of art that was very, very cool. Had lots of piercings and stuff like that. A lot of Brom artwork, if you know who Brom is, B-R-O-M. Fantastic artist. And it was just very cool. And this artwork, the picture that they have there, reminded me of Dark Age. Like, I just thought of that as I opened it up, even when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, this reminds me of something. And it reminds me of the old Dark Age collectible card game. There you go. I'm a dork. I don't even know when this came out. 98? 97? 96. Originally released in 96. Dark Age is an out-of-print collectible card game by Friedlander Publishing Group, FPG, originally released in July of 96. The game shared themes with Mad Max franchise and featured artworks from artists such as Gerald Brom and Tim Bradstreet. Bradstreet also liked his stuff a lot. Brom's stuff is absolutely incredible, though. Absolutely incredible. You should go check out his artwork. Let's look it up. I mean, just for the hell of it, right? What the hell? Brom artwork. He was a D&D artist. He's done a lot of fantasy artwork. Let's just look at images. Like, his stuff is incredible. And it's very likely you've seen some of his stuff. He's published books. He's published art books. He's published written books. Lots of card game art. I just absolutely... He did... Oh, that's where I first know him from is... he did the artwork for D&D's Dungeons & Dragons Dark Sunsetting is where he got his start. And he has this cool style that he uses. His art is awesome, but then he makes his art have this rich, deep color because he uses like a lacquer over the top of it. I have heard. I don't know this firsthand. That gives it just this super rich, deep, dark sepia tone kind of feel. It's fantastic. I just love his artwork. Anyway, this would be an inspiration for him. This little picture. Chaal-et. Chaal-et? I'm not sure. From Felwud. Felwud? Felwud. Artist here on SoundCloud. Sent in 5 different tracks, one of which I couldn't find. This is one of them that I could find. Folds is another one that I am going to be doing eventually. And what did this say they were from? It says Hollywood, Florida, U.S. Experimental ambient industrial music from Felwud, rap songs and instrumentals. Would appreciate you listening and reacting as your channel is respected by me and all my friends. Thank you. That's very nice to hear. This is another dark ambient rap song that references my team, Prayer Chalice. So let's check it out. That's what I got from Felwud themselves. No lyrics listed here. Ambient croak rap. Oh, interesting. Okay. 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Let's check this out. Came out 9 months ago. Okay, so I gotta comment on that beginning. Like, it totally sounds like a lich rising from the grave. Lich, again, D&D thing. Like some undead thing rising from the grave and trying to make noises, right? Like, first thing, right? Like, a zombie, a mummy, something, right? It's very cool. Like, I'm not a huge horror fan, but I like the ability to create ambiance to give it this sort of feel. It's cool. Like ragged, trying to draw in a breath, kind of feel like it's very cool. It's not something I would ever think to do in a song, and yet that's what they Felwud wanted to do, and I think it's awesome. And then you get that like right back here, just that one little note. So that tells you you're not going to get what you expect from this, right? You're already not getting what you expect, and then you get this beautiful little and where's this going to go? No clue. I can go if you don't want me. I'm on call, I thought it was on me. I'm on 200 and on me. On my screen time on the corners. I'm not ball, I'm letting the dummies. I'm in the forces, I know the full fight and my voice raise my hair. I'm gonna raise my hair. I put the inky bag up. I'm gonna raise my bag. You regret everything that you said while asleep. Kind of gives me like I can't make out all the lyrics well enough and to like hold everything together to understand what is being said while also hearing what is being said next, if that makes sense, right? It's too much to hold in my head at one time. I need to be able to see it and read it. But it's interesting because the vocalization, the way he's performing it, definitely gives me the feeling of somebody like Joey or Shed Theory, and a lot of mumble rappers or rappers who are specifically trying, Future, for example, trying to sound a little stoned or out of it, very relaxed, very chill, laid back, but with this edge to it that is unlike all of those. I actually am really liking the way the vocals sound on this, and I like the music. It sounds slightly creepy but still cool, has just a good sound to it, and isn't unintelligible. Like, it's not the whole way through, or it's not screaming like you get in a lot of metal that I just don't get into. This is very intelligible if you want to take the time to really listen and hear all the words, and I think it sounds very good. I like the sliding of the voice kind of back and forth, and it's, again, very cool. Okay, that was cool. What was that? Love that. Little glitch. I love starting a new paragraph, a new verse with that's, how cool is that? I can go if you don't want me. I'm on call, that's when it was on me. I'm on 200 and on me. On my screen time on the corners. I'm not bold, I'm letting the dummies. I'm in the forces, I know the full fight and my voice raise my hair. I'm gonna raise my hair. I put that inky bag up. My eyes got left on red. Next time I see you, you might just be. really darkly beautiful. One of my favorite terms, phrases that I've ever read is a terrible beauty, and I forget exactly where it comes from. But that reminds me of that terrible beauty. It's not a book by Anna Zires. I mean, it's that's not what I'm thinking of. Terrible beauty, like it's a quote. Uh, Terrible beauty. William Butler Yeats's poem Easter from 1916. A terrible beauty is born. Let's see. Here it is. Full quote. Now and in time to be, whenever green is worn, are changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. And just the idea of a terrible beauty, like a storm is a terrible beauty. And you could apply it to all sorts of supernatural things too. Something that is both terrible and beautiful at the same time. And like this picture, you could say is a terrible beauty, right? Like it's a beautiful woman with all these, not even imperfections, with these interruptions in her beauty, right? Um, really, I really like this as a concept, and I thought this song sounded it's cool as fuck. Felwud, I'm into this. I'm looking forward. So the first thing you sent me was Shalik SM First Prayer Shaliksm. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Is a dark industrial ambient rap EP, howling vox and bass that speaks in tongues. That's crazy. That's cool. And then you sent Folds, Faulds, which I know is on your page here, and then Grid. So I know I'm going to do Folds. If I can find Grid, I will. The links that you originally sent me were no longer working. But this was a cool track. And again, I haven't really heard anything like this before. Not exactly. Obviously, it's a different artist, new person's going to have a completely different take on things. But I like where you're going. There is a beauty to this that I think a lot of people would find if they would listen to your stuff. God, I just wish people would listen to more of these videos that I do. Like, this will get 11 views. And it's a shame because so much of this music that I listen to in the first two videos I do every day from new artists I've never heard from before, or I have heard from, and they're not huge, right? And there's such cool stuff here. This is so unique and interesting and opens up completely different creative areas in my mind, right? Like I think I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't start a verse with like that's just genius. And because it gives you this feeling that's unlike anything else, and I'm not going to try and say exactly what that feeling is because I'm sure it's different for everybody. Really interesting. I missed that it says Margo proxy at the end of the name, Chaal-et. I don't know if Margo proxy is one of the artists contributing to this, if they're the producer. I don't know. I have no idea. I wish I did. Very cool. Definitely ambient. Like, I don't know if croak is the right term. Ambient croak rap. Ambient. Sure, use croak. I don't know what I would call it. Yeah, the first comment. Dog, your vocals on this is crazy. Yeah, absolutely. I'm really, really good. 813 plays. Honestly, not bad for SoundCloud, right? Like, that's a good number of listens for somebody who's effectively not known outside of a small group, right? Like, that's pretty good. Like, this is a good track. I really like this. God, I know there are tons of people who would just dive into this shit and just love it. Because I think about my background's in gaming and comics and things like this, and I hear this and I think about games like Vampire the Masquerade and all the White Wolf games, right? I think of DC Comics, Hellblazer, John Constantine, Swamp Thing back in the day, the Alan Moore run, and Rick Veitch and all that sort of stuff. And they would love this stuff. Like the people who loved those comics, which remade comics as we know it, and pop culture as we know it in a lot of ways. I mean, Alan Moore is everywhere in pop culture. Would love this sort of thing. And Alan Moore is also, well, in addition to being a writer, he is a magician and shaman, and he's just an amazing guy. And I believe musician, playwright. This is very cool. Thank you for sending this in, Felwud. I will definitely check out the other stuff you sent me, or as much of it as I can. And I hope you see this. And if you have newer stuff that you would rather have me listen to than Falds and Grid, send them to me, because I check my email. I don't open up everything and get to it right away. But if you email me something, I will definitely check it out. Cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm just really amazed by this. So, Pop Squat, check it. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please go watch another video on my channel so I can monetize the hell out of it. And then if you have something you have made yourself, like Felwud's music, my email address is down in the description of this video. It is papasquatjon@gmail.com. If you want to just send me a track that you're a fan of and you're like, I want to see what this guy has to say about it, CashApp, PayPal, and Patreon are the ways to do that. Oh, and I also see Felwud has a song here called Black Adam. Black Adam, of course, a DC Comics character. Doesn't necessarily have to be about that character, but it could be about, Adam, biblical Adam, Black Adam. I don't know. Have yourself a good day. I'll be back. Bye-bye.